Immediately upon reaching these uncharted waters, I knew something was different. I was approaching the twisted strands, and let me tell you, there was definitely something twisting these chestnuts, telling me, begging me not to go. When I arrived, I got greeted by a traveling merchant. Her dock was a smaller version of the main dock back at the Great Marrow, but offers the same things. This was great because this meant I didn't have to travel all the way back if I wanted to upgrade my boat. She assigned me the task of collecting these 4 fish and bringing them back to her, which seemed pretty easy, or so I thought. Because then she decided to tell me that within the twisted strand, she could see that the trees would move on their own. So either this woman doesn't understand what wind is, or there's something really unnatural going on here. The thick-ass orange-tinted fog in this area not only blinded me, but inhaling it most likely introduced me to various long-term respiratory diseases. Anyways, I found some mullet living in these parts of the island, as well as a crashed plane. Now, I'm no aviation expert, but the pilot of this plane clearly wasn't one either. I came across another bottle, but I didn't read it just yet because I got distracted by this. I went under it hoping it would end this nightmare, but unfortunately, it did not. My sense of direction on this island was like a tire that was flat. Absolutely fucking useless. I somehow ended up back at the Traveler, which, to be honest, I wasn't even trying to go there in the first place, so fuck me, I guess. Since I was safe here, I decided to just chill out and read what was in the bottle I picked up earlier. Alright, so basically I'm guessing it's written in the wife's perspective, and it seems like for whatever reason, the husband has left her, and she's clearly freezing. Look, I don't know what happened, but something terrible must have happened to this couple, and I'm guessing sooner or later, I'll find out what. I sold my fish, went to bed, and then smashed into a rock. Why, you ask? Exactly. Now check this out. Now, I'm not sure if the horn summoned those tentacles, but clearly they did not want me there. It scared me away like the coward I knew I always was. I didn't care if my ship was on fire. I headed straight for the lighthouse like a baby to its mother. Damaged, beaten, nearly about to explode, I docked my ship, got it fixed, and went to bed. On day 26, I went back to my roots. After that tentacle disaster, I wanted to take a small break from the twisting of the strands. I fished up some cod just to remind them that they weren't safe in these waters, and then at night I headed towards this red beam of light. To my surprise, I found a key, a very important looking key. I put it in my storage and then noticed that in order to finish this tier 2 upgrade for my boat, I needed metal, and unfortunately, the only person I know who sold metal was the Traveler. So back to Twisted Strands I go. Hooray. Being back here made me want to piss out of my ass, but I needed to raise a whopping 500 beans in order to upgrade this boat. Since I was clearly already a pubic hair away from that, I decided to stay here and just get the $10. I came across a campfire which had demonic symbols on it, which I wanted no part of, and immediately went to work. I was laser focused, clenching my balls so tight they turned purple, and only worried about getting that bread. I upgraded my boat to tier 2, which meant that I basically could do whatever the fuck I wanted. I basically owned this ocean, and then without hesitation, I started to try and upgrade my boat just a little more. Remember kids, there's no such thing as enough power. After exploiting this island for money and making me more powerful, I left this dirty island never to look back, but not before taking a few souvenirs. Like these dog tags. I'll later find out that I'm kind of an asshole for eventually selling these, so please stay tuned for that. Now, remember how I complained about how orange and foggy the twisted strands were? Well, take a look at this hell pit. Now this felt like the endgame. It felt like I wasn't even supposed to be here yet. I talked to this unstable man who asked me some odd questions and then told me to light some statues for him. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. This place was way out of my league, and frankly, I have to trust my gut. So I just used these research parts I dredged up here to unlock a new fishing rod, and I dipped. I left. I didn't even want to think about what awaited me on that island. Devil spine? Nah, I'm good. Thanks though. Thank you. I came back to the Greater Marrow and sold everything I had, including an entire generational bloodline of crabs. I upgraded my boat a little more, and then I set sail once again. I came across another boat that forgot it can't drive on land, and then I got attacked. This proved to me that I wasn't as powerful as I thought I was. I needed a stronger boat. I upgraded once more and realized I was poorer than poor. I swapped my fishing rods for my shark collecting tool and went hunting. I saw the sun set and the day get darker, but I became greedy and thirsty for that bag. Unfortunately, it led to my first death in the game, and honestly, I was upset. Not only did I die, but I died and still came back broke as shit. I tried fishing for some more sharks and pulled out, well, that. It was ugly on the outside, but filled with money in the inside, so I was happy. I repaired my boat and things were back on track. I noticed I was super close to the tier 3 hull for my boat, and that's when it hit me. I had quests I needed to get done. Things that people entrusted me to do that, until this point, I have ignored. Since I needed to collect more materials in order to upgrade my boat, I decided to head on to the Stellar Basin and hopefully come across these fish that the traveler needed. Upon arriving, I knew that this place was the place to be. Beautiful night sky, an infinite supply of calamari, and fluorescent jellyfish. I mean, come on. It was a paradise. I found another message in a bottle and docked my boat near the fortress to read it. Essentially, the couple came here to see the lights, and I kinda now feel awful for insulting their honeymoon because this husband proposed to the wife under the night lights, which honestly must have been so beautiful. So, yeah, I actually now feel a little bit worse that something terrible happened to them. Anyways, inside the old fortress, I found a researcher who has been alone for quite some time. Apparently, her research outpost got attacked by some large creature, so she fled to this fortress for protection. Since all her research and lab equipment was back at the old HQ, she asked me if I could do her the favor and collect some samples for her. Me being the nice guy that I am, I agreed. And just like that, I now had another thing stacked onto my to-do list. Shit was starting to look like a CVS receipt, but nevertheless, I wanted to be someone who people remembered as the guy who changed their lives. So I had to carry the weight of their fucking problems on my back. There was just one issue with that. I tend to lose focus very quickly. You tell me to go left, I might just go right. You tell me to jump, I might just kill myself. You see, right after the researcher gave me this quest, I instead went back to the Greater Marrow and fished as if I didn't have a care in the world. I then started to dredge up more items and got distracted by all these little things this game has to offer, like these boxes I found on shore. It contained a map, which was music to my pockets. Shit had me giggling of pure excitement. I came across a cute little village that seemed abandoned, and then I heard an interesting noise. I looked to my right, and there was definitely something moving right next to me. The hair on my ass stood up straighter than a pencil, and this was enough of a warning to me to back off and go to the traveler lady up ahead instead. I bought a research part from her and used it to finally unlock the twin prop engine. Now we weren't just flying, ladies and gentlemen, we were damn near teleporting at this point. I fished out a groper, which to my surprise was a lot bigger than what I expected it to be. It actually shocked me so bad that I went out of my way to Google just how big they actually were, and yep, no, it checks out. I wanted to get a closer look at the demon beneath me, and my god, I didn't have the steel balls to try and get closer to it. No. I left and came across something I did not expect to see in this game.
Yeah, a doggy look, a dog, big, tiny, it's dog.
I knew I needed this dog, so I earned its trust through a series of interactions, only to find out I had no room on my boat to put him in. I immediately made the illegal U-turn over the solid double yellow lines, sold all my stuff, fished out a hammerhead for some reason, sold that, then headed back to get the dog. Okay, after repairing the stupidity, I one-upped myself and decided to take a peek at the Kraken down below. Alright, now finally, after repairing the reminder that I'm just so, goddamn unintelligent, on day 41, I obtained the cute little doggy. I named him Skinny Pete, and I wanted to keep him with me, but I knew the life I lived was way too dangerous. Skinny Pete needed a better home. Immediately upon seeing another boat that wasn't me, I turned back and went to bed. There was absolutely no damn way I was gonna take any chances with Skinny Pete on board. I decided the best place to take the dog was to the researcher, since she herself told me she was lonely and in need of companionship. She was very happy, and Skinny rewarded me with a ring that he pulled out of his stomach. With that good deed now done, I was feeling warm and fuzzy inside. Life was good, life was great. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. I found another piece of the map, fished up this foul, horrendous looking hammerhead, and then brought the researcher all the fish samples she wanted. The woman said, I bet, now I need some abyssal fish. I was like, okay, how? She said, you gotta go get some parts for me from the old HQ. I said, alright, I guess I'll be back. I found another bottle and inside the HQ, I found a research part that I used to create the anti-tangle line. This allowed me to catch mangrove and coastal fish. I had no type of space left, so I sold everything I had for 277 beans and went back to the research station. One problem though, in that short time I went to sell my items, I completely forgot where the station was. I'm not sure if I missed it or what happened, but I could not for the life of me find it, like at all. The ocean truly is incredibly disorientating. After some time, thanks to the god upstairs who still has some faith in me, I eventually found the station again and collected all the parts that I needed. I gave it to the researcher and she converted them into a simple device that again I was not able to put on my boat due to lack of space. If Space Management had a kid, then I was definitely not the father because me and her just do not get along. I went back to the merchant, upgraded to tier hold 3, used the materials to free up some space, and kicked my feet up to read the message in the bottle. The 14th, my lord, of September 1927. It's in this message that we find out that the woman's husband dredged up a wooden casket that basically struck the fear of God into everyone in town. It ends with her saying, "He stared down into the open casket, then turned to me. In his eyes, I saw the void." In his eyes, I saw the void. Man, what scriptwriter was cooking? My man turned the pen on fire. He set the smoke detectors on. What the? I don't know. That line, it goes hard. I'm not gonna lie. We're getting real like eldritch in here. Look, the fate of these two lovebirds must have been something crazy. With that ominous reading out of the way, I went whale spotting and retrieved my sampling device from the researcher. This allowed me to catch abyssal creatures, and she also gave me a repulsion machine, which essentially emitted a loud noise that put the giant kraken asleep. Before I went ahead and tested it out, I used this new fishing rod to fish out a bunch of baby anglerfish in order to get payback on that big ass dumbass fish for torturing me. It bullies me and I sell its children. I went back to the merchant and unlocked the versatile rod, which goddamn, it's a big one. However, it turns out that I actually needed the bottomless lines in order to catch the fish that the researcher wanted, so guess it was time to look for another research part. In the meantime though, I went ahead and discovered as much abyssal fish as I could. These were some of the most interesting yet horrifying creatures I have ever seen. The abyssal fish were quite literally something out of my nightmares. On day 50, I found another rock slab asking for sharks, so I brought it a hammerhead, and then I found the strangers again. This time they were wearing yellow robes, but asked for fish just like the last ones. I gave it to him, and then I found a research part while dredging. I used it to unlock the bottomless line. I installed it onto my boat and then went to dredge up what was right above the kraken. Bada bing, bada boom. Ladies and gentlemen, on day 52, I finally found the first relic that the collector wanted. This must be the most patient man on planet Earth. These Hadal creatures somehow one up the abyssal ones on the ugliest scale, but I pushed through it and delivered the goods to the researcher, finally completing her quest. In return, she told me to get out of this area, and she gave me a book to read, so that's sweet of her. Well, with the main quest of this island done, I thought I'd go ahead and try to see what would happen if I kept feeding these strange men fish. Once I got up to a blue crab that they wanted, I sort of decided to take a break and do some exploring since I had no clue where to find them. I came across a wrecked ship and treated it like a Honda parked in the ghetto by taking away parts from it and using it for my own boat. The fisherman who had this vessel left behind this note, and I mean, not much to say, this man was clearly on a couple of perks. I came across this town called Ingfell and talked to some of the locals. We got the retired whaler whose brother moved to the Gale Cliffs for an unknown reason, and then we got Shorty over here who told me that there might be a bunch of shipwrecks near the south side of the Gale Cliffs. Shipwrecks equals money, so I was cheesing from ear to ear. She also told me about a crackhead who liked eating rotten fish and then proceeded to ask me to bring her rotten fish, so who's really the crackhead? I visited the old geezer at the Gale Cliffs and he wanted to go back home to his brother, but the silly old man stole his family's crescent and lost it somewhere in the actual Gale Cliffs. He said he can't return home without it and that it's guarded by a gigantic serpent, a serpent whose sole purpose was to steal the souls of anyone who ventures on through. It must be this man's lucky day because I'm no ordinary angler, I'm the angler. With no fear in my eyes, I sailed towards the cliffs and immediately got greeted by the gigantic water snake. Navigating this narrow stream while simultaneously worrying about a big snake plus falling rocks had me sweating so much I damn near lost all the electrolytes in my body. I took a beating and sought out refuge at this island I saw. but it was all a lie and I died. Well, the Gale Cliffs was certainly not going to be a walk in the park. It was going to be a walk into hell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.